This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
Ladies, you'll end up shopping for your guy's deodorant, right? So try Degree's Original Cool Rush. You see, last year, Degree changed the formula, and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree admitted they messed up and brought the Original Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and actually smells like someone you want to cuddle. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So toss one in your cart and find out why it's the best-selling men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory.
Welcome back, True Crime Army. I am your host, Margot, and this is Military Murder, a show where I focus on crimes committed by military members and veterans. But don't worry, you don't have to know anything about the military to listen. You just have to be a true crime enthusiast, and if that's you, welcome home. Today's case is a breaking news story out of Virginia. Join me today as I tell you the story of missing mom, Mamta Kafle Bhatt. Now, let's dig in.
Military murder is an independent project and is not endorsed by the Department of Defense or any military component. The views expressed are those of the host. The content of this podcast is not meant to be legal or medical advice. Warning, this episode contains graphic details of murder and is not suitable for young listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Mamta Kafle was born in Nepal to her parents Kamal and Geeta Kafle. She had a brother named Mahesh, and they were a very close-knit family. Mamta was a very fun-loving person who loved to dance, sing, and wear beautiful dresses, and she often styled her outfits with a genuine smile. Mamta was described as a very kind person. She was selfless and often put others first, which is why she chose to study nursing. From a very young age, Mamta was smart as a whip. She completed her college degree in Nepal and then went to Bangalore to study nursing. She worked her tail off and graduated at the top of her class. After obtaining her nursing degree, she returned home to Nepal. It was when Mamta returned home from nursing school that she introduced her parents to her boyfriend Naresh Bhatt. Presumably, they met somewhere online since Naresh, originally from Kanchanpur, Nepal, was living in the United States. And while in Mamta's culture, arranged marriages are common practice, Mamta told her parents she really wanted to marry Naresh. The Kafles didn't see any problem with Mamta's choice, and they blessed the marriage. They told the Kathmandu Post, quote, "Mamta was our only daughter, and we wanted her marriage to be well considered. We didn't know much about Naresh's family, but for Mamta's happiness, we agreed to the marriage, which took place in Pamnauti Kavre," end quote. So who was Naresh Bhatt? Naresh Bhatt was also a native of Nepal, but he immigrated to the United States in 2016 and became a U.S. citizen. From June 2017 until February of 2024, he served in the U.S. Army Reserve, where he served as an automated logistics specialist. His rank was, in fact, specialist. So the Army was Naresh's part-time job, right? Because he was a reservist. But in June of 2020, he was hired on as a police recruit by the Fairfax County PD. In October of 2020, he transitioned to the Fairfax County Criminal Justice Academy. However, within just 22 days of being at the academy, he was dismissed because he failed to successfully fulfill the requirements of his role. That dismissal was dated November 16, 2020. In December of 2020, Mamta and Naresh were married, and in July of 2021, Mamta finally joined Naresh in the United States, specifically Virginia. According to Naresh's LinkedIn account, from February of 2022 through January of 2024, Naresh worked as an IT professional contractor at 2 different companies. LinkedIn shows that starting in January of 2024, Naresh began employment as a specialist at General Dynamics IT. His work involved cybersecurity and IT-related responsibilities. As soon as Mamta arrived in the United States, she hit the ground running, quickly finding employment as a nurse. 2 years after her arrival in the United States, Mamta and Naresh welcomed a baby girl. Shortly after the baby was born, I'm going to call the baby Mia. That's not her real name. But the family moved from Fairfax County to Manassas, Virginia. After giving birth to Mia, Mamta shared that her relationship with her husband was strained. She asked her mom to come to the United States to help with Mia, and Geeta, Mamta's mom, agreed. But that decision was soon vetoed when Naresh's mom, Naresh Bhatt, came to the U.S. to help instead. However, having her mother-in-law in the home proved even worse than just having Naresh. You see, it appeared that Naresh was physically abusive towards Mamta, but when his mom arrived, the mother-in-law was also abusive towards Mamta. Apparently, both Naresh and his mom allegedly demanded that Mamta observe something called chaputi. It's a tradition of keeping a person in a different shed or living space while they're on their menstrual cycle. But that's not all. They also allegedly withheld food and physically abused Mamta. Mamta's family could tell something wasn't right. At one point, both of Naresh's parents stayed with the family. And of course, living with your in-laws, especially if they are also insane, can lead to a further strain in a marriage on the brink of chaos. But despite all of this, Mamta smiled through the disappointment. Mamta's father would later recall, quote, "Whenever we asked Mamta how she was doing, she always said she was fine. She never told us about all the pain she was going through, though we did hear bits and pieces from outside. We thought it was just minor quarrels that would be resolved," end quote. But it was in February of 2024 where Mamta's family got hard proof that Mamta wasn't doing well. That month, Mamta sent her brother a picture of herself. In the picture, her face was swollen and bloody. She sent this picture to her brother in strict confidence, telling him to keep the picture just in case he needed it in the future. Which, once you learn what happens in this case, it makes this case very eerie, like almost as if Mamta knew what her fate might be. And Mamta's brother wasn't the only one who would have proof of domestic violence. One of Mamta's friends and colleagues, Sunita, she recalled that on one occasion, Mamta showed up to work with bruises on her body. After Mamta had showed up to work battered and bruised one too many times, Sunita gave Mamta the contact information for a domestic violence hotline. But despite realizing that she was a battered woman, Mamta responded to Sunita telling her that she wanted to attempt couples counseling to give Naresh one more chance to change. In addition to the physical abuse, many of Mamta's friends recalled the emotional abuse that she suffered at the hands of her husband. A friend named Nadia recalled that Naresh would often comment on her weight. He would also compare her to other women, and he would compare her to her friends in front of them. This man was just straight trash, undermining his wife's confidence and making Mamta feel less than. On one occasion, Mamta and her friend Nadia were FaceTiming while they were doing their makeup, and all of a sudden, Naresh walked in. He looked at Nadia and told her that she was an A+. Then he looked at his wife, Mamta, and told her that she was a C-. Mamta acted like nothing mattered. But once that call ended, she broke down in tears. Doesn't this make you want to give Mamta a hug and then basically kick Naresh in the nuts? Yeah, same. Well, in February of 2024, there's a lot of that goes on in this story that is in February of 2024. So in February of 2024, again, it appeared that the marital issues escalated to the point where Mamta called the police. When the police responded, Mamta told the police that her husband had taken her passport, her green card, her social security card, and on top of that, he destroyed her cell phone. Police classified this house visit as disorderly conduct, and charges were never filed. Instead, Mamta took her child and left the home for several days. And it was when Mamta was no longer at the house with Naresh that she took to Facebook to look for resources. On February 8th, 2024, Mamta posted on a local mom's Facebook group. She said, quote, "I'm in the process of a separation. I work 2 days a week and my husband is not helping to take care of baby. He is saying that if I leave baby with him, he will send child to custody. Is it possible?" End quote. Now, something important to keep in mind is that English is not Mamta nor Naresh's first language. So what she likely meant by this post was that Naresh was saying if she left the baby with him to take care of his own child, he was going to call Child Protective Services. Which, what in the world? I seriously hate Naresh. What did he think CPS was going to do? Give him a pat in the back? Congratulations, you fathered a baby, now take care of it. Anyhow, in that Facebook post, Mamta also asked for advice on obtaining childcare. She asked about assistance from a social worker. Oh, and she also mentioned that her husband had taken all of the money out of the joint checking account. Anyway, not sure how helpful the Facebook responders were when Mamta posted this on Facebook, but months later, on June 19th, 2024, Mamta posted to another Facebook group. This time, she took to a U.S. Nepal Help Network Facebook group. She stated that her conditional green card went missing, and the problem was that she needed the card for work, but additionally, she needed it because she had a meeting that was coming up with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. It was supposed to be her last of many meetings on her journey to U.S. citizenship. That summer was set to be an exciting new chapter for Mamta. She finished her job at an Innova hospital in Fairfax, and due to moving from Fairfax to Manassas, on July 8th, Mamta began her new job as a pediatric nurse at UVA Prince William Medical Center. At this job, she worked 2 days a week, but Mamta wouldn't even be at UVA 1 month before she was a no-call, no-show by the end of that month.
Today's episode is sponsored by Acorns, and April is Financial Literacy Month, an entire month dedicated to taking control of your money. Because honestly, no one really taught me how to manage money growing up. I didn't learn about investing until I was well into adulthood. But what I love about Acorns is that it makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future in just 5 minutes. I know, April is an entire month, but you don't need an entire month to learn. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns recommends a diversified portfolio that matches you and your goals. You can start with just your spare change, and you don't need a lot of time. Setup takes just 5 minutes because I know that your time is precious. And if financial wellness has ever felt out of reach, Acorns makes it simple, giving your money a chance to grow without the overwhelm. Personally, using Acorns gave me the confidence to stop putting it off and just start. And that peace of mind is completely worth it. Sign up now and join over 14 million all-time customers who've already saved and invested over $25 billion with a B dollars with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/militarymama or download the Acorns app to get started today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/militarymama.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
On August 1st, 2024, Mamta was scheduled to report to work, but she never showed up. This was very out of character for Mamta. She was punctual, and everyone was used to seeing her smiling face walk through the door. But this day was different. The following day, on August 2nd, Mamta's employer requested a welfare check be conducted at her house. They were concerned because Mamta never reached out to work and she never answered her phone. Police officers arrived at the Bhatt house, and you can actually see police video footage online. It appears to be a beautiful, sunny Virginia summer day. The police roll up to the brick house with a really nice front porch, nice burgundy door, American flag standing nice and tall to the side. Officers knock and ring the doorbell, and Naresh eventually does answer the door. He was carrying his daughter on his hip, and here's the audio.
Hello, sir. How are you? I'm Officer to Manassas Park, please. We're looking for Miss Mamta Kafle.
Yeah, she like on Tuesday, Wednesday, she left and then she says she gonna go either New York or Texas, and then she left she had the phone and then she destroyed that phone and then she left.
So she destroyed the phone and she left. She said she was going to New York.
Yeah, her sister, one of her sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other contact information?
Yeah, I like she has a different three phones. I do have like two phone numbers. One phone number somebody other receiving, one another contact number for the New York. I do have.
Okay, can you show me that, please? Can you hand
get
that
those
info?
numbers? Can we get those phone numbers from you?
Yeah, we just want to see if she's okay because we have an employer calling to
Hi.
check. Hi. Did she say why she left?
Yeah, because we are about to separate, and then the home inspection come here to. I'm about to sell the home, so she wanna say like, okay, I wanna go with my sisters, and then she used to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
And then sometimes I don't know where. You can come inside or I can come outside.
This is you, sir.
Up to you, sir. Yeah.
And she used to live in a falls church. I don't know the exact address. I know the building because I noticed there because I saw her email, and then one place over there, and then I don't know somewhere in Manassas because on the 8th I think like on the 8th she started a job.
Last month?
No. Yeah, last month. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 8th, so I'm not working since that. She say like she gonna be stay there, and then once she gonna be everything settled down, she will take the baby. She not gonna leave the baby with me. That's what she said. I know the building in Falls Church where she was. Still, she's living over there or Texas because I already conversation with her sister. She just did not reply me, and then she was asking me, and then her mom. And then her mom is also asking for me. I don't know where is she.
Okay. So if you could give us the phone numbers, please. We want to see if we can make contact with her.
This is not the first time. Multiple times she go and then come back in few days.
Okay.
I don't have the phone number for her sister. Usually I have a Facebook, but I don't have her phone number.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So that's what I replied like 2:23. Usually she works Thursday to Saturday. She works there, and then it's not like first time she disappear and then come back. I live with my parents over there. She say like, okay, I'm not gonna live with your parents. My parents left back home, and then still a lot of she going. She got the green card already, and then she was about to yeah.
Okay. When she left, was she? Did you say anything about hurting herself or anything concerning?
No, because if
Everything's
it's the
normal?
first time, then I can say, oh, okay, where are you going? This and that. This is multiple times. I don't know who called you, but sometimes she came back, and then most of her stuff regular stuff. She already I think in March she already take regular stuff like regular wearing, regular shoes. This is her shoes even but the regular things she already take it. But the normal thing fancy wear, a suits, special wear, still we have here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get your phone number, sir?
Yeah.
And do you have ID on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Just get that. Yeah, we'll get it all at once.
At this time, I know the home inspection, they come over here to evaluate the home and then painting. So because I say I want to sell this home, because a lot of stuff going on. So I just bought a year ago. It's less than a year. So I say I'm done. So people come over here and then see ask a little bit, but I already told them realtor, don't talk to anybody else. Just make inspection and then make a value.
Darry, can I look at cat number, please? Okay, if she does return home, just give us a call.
Okay, if she did not return home, let's say she's supposed to be returned home by Sunday or Saturday because she worked Thursday to Saturday. Sometimes she doesn't come over here because last time it was few weeks ago.
Okay.
I have also worked. If I left, she has to take care of the baby. If she left, I have to take care of the baby. That's why she decided okay, when I'm working, I'm not gonna come home. If she doesn't come, so I have to file a complaint or what I supposed to do. She lost, maybe she say last time even she returned down and then she say okay, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna disappear for 6 months, make a different address, and then after that, we will separate this and that. So I don't know, like I'm kind of.
So in that audio, you can hear the police asked for Mamta, and Naresh said that she left a few days earlier, either on Tuesday or Wednesday. When asked where she went, Naresh couldn't remember if she flew to New York or to Texas. And when asked, okay, so where did she go? Naresh babbled on that she went to visit one of her sisters. Note to self, if you recall earlier in this story when I told you that Mamta only had one brother and he wasn't living in the States. So, of course, that was lie number 1 and 2, right? The first lie was that she had a sister. And the second lie was that he spoke to the non-existent sister, allegedly over Facebook Messenger. Then Naresh told police that there was no way he could call Mamta because she allegedly destroyed her phone before traveling. Now, what kind of lie is this? Who, tell me who in their right mind destroys their cell phone before going on a long-distance trip? I mean, listen, I accidentally left my phone at home the other day when I went to church, and then afterwards I went to visit my dad for his birthday. And let me tell you, I felt completely and utterly naked the entire 5 or so hours. I know, I do need to change my ways. But anyway, Mamta destroyed her phone. That is lie number 3. But wait, did you catch in the audio where Naresh says that Mamta had 3 phones? Come on, man. She's a mom, not a drug dealer. So it's kind of funny because in the video, the cops asked for those other numbers. And Naresh, initially, he removes his cell phone from his pocket to give it to them, basically to look for the cell phone numbers and provide it to the police officers. But then he quickly changes the topic and slyly puts his cell phone back into his pocket. But wait, when the cops are like, hey, can you give us that number? He looks through his cell phone and then he kind of makes some sort of weird excuse like, well, I can't find the numbers. I've been communicating on Facebook Messenger, yada, yada. And wait, Naresh wants you to believe that Mamta left the baby with him. Meanwhile, she's on Facebook months earlier asking if he could take the baby to CPS if she leaves the baby just to go to work. It just doesn't add up. Then Naresh says something interesting. He says that this isn't the first time that Mamta left. She's left before, and then she just returns a few days later. And did you catch the part where he said that she had already moved out most of her clothing in March? And what? He's selling the house? He already had a home inspector lined up? This case is insane. Once the cops were ready to leave, they told Naresh that if Mamta returned or made any type of contact with him, for him to give them a call. Okay, so it's August 2nd, 2024. Naresh looks cool, calm, and collected. But on the other side of the world in Nepal, Mamta's family was freaking out. They had been reaching out to Naresh after not hearing from Mamta, but Naresh wouldn't tell them anything, and additionally, he refused to report Mamta missing, even though her mom and brother were pleading for him to do so. Mamta's aunt Maya told the Kathmandu Post that they weren't even informed by Naresh that Mamta was missing. But remember, according to Naresh, she wasn't missing. She was visiting her non-existent sissy in either New York or Texas. Oh, and let's not forget that she left her daughter with a man who allegedly told her he was going to call CPS if she left the kid with him while she was at work. Auntie Maya told the Post, quote, after she went missing, we kept asking Naresh for information, but all he said was that she might be found soon. We didn't see any sign of grief in Naresh. It felt like he wasn't affected at all by his wife's disappearance, end quote. By August 4th, Mamta's family was pleading Naresh to report Mamta missing. And then on August 5th, Mamta, who had still not been seen by anyone for several days, missed one of the most important dates that she had been waiting for. She missed her final U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services appointment to obtain her U.S. citizenship. I mean, there's no way that she would miss that appointment, you know? On August 5th at 9 p.m., Naresh messaged one of the officers who had showed up to the house a few days earlier, and in that message, he said that Mamta had still not showed up. At which point, the officers told him if he believed that Mamta was truly missing, that he should call 911, which is kind of annoying, right? He's reporting it to the police and they're like, okay, call 911. I mean, I kind of get it, but it's still a little bit frustrating. That's when Naresh called the Manassas Park PD and reported Mamta missing. He told them that the last time he saw his wife was on July 31st. On August 6th, police show up at the house and Naresh tells them that some of Mamta's clothing is missing. Also missing is her passport, her green card, and her social security card. Interesting, right? Because hadn't Mamta complained on a Facebook group that her husband had stolen all of these same exact items? Over the next several days, detectives interviewed family, friends, and coworkers, and everyone except for Naresh told the detectives that this was unlike Mamta. She wouldn't just disappear. Without taking her daughter, no way. Without letting anyone know, no way. And also, without taking her phone, no way. They also said it was odd because Mamta was active on social media, and all of her accounts had suddenly become dormant. All of this is going on behind the scenes, right? You have Mamta's coworkers reporting Mamta missing. You have her family in Nepal freaking the hell out. But it wasn't until August 8th that the true crime junkies of Virginia discovered that there was a missing mom. And when police circulated a missing persons poster on social media, Mamta's missing persons status spread like wildfire. And remember those posts that Mamta made back in February on this mom's Facebook page? Yup, those quickly came to light. And everyone was like, hashtag the husband did it.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
So good, so good, so good.
Great gifts for dad? We've got them, and they're up to 60% off at Nordstrom Rack stores now.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
They've got the best gifts.
Gotta show dad some love.
Snag amazing deals on Father's Day gifts from Cole Haan, Calvin Klein, Vince, and more. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
Mamta's missing person status was further categorized as critical since her bank cards hadn't been used and she didn't have her own car. That's right, she had a full-time job but no car. Her husband, though, well, the unemployed husband, I should add, he drove a Tesla. So you might be wondering, how did poor Mamta get to work every day? Well, for the 2 days a week that she did work. Well, she took an Uber or she hitched a ride with coworkers. So Mamta's face is now plastered or was now plastered everywhere. And the local search was intense and immediate, which yay for crime junkies in Virginia. There were vigils and organized searches, but strategically missing from everything that was going on was Naresh. He said he couldn't make it out to these searches because he was busy watching his child. Oh, but don't worry, because on August 10th, Naresh took to Facebook. He wrote a post in his native language. At least the first part was not in English, but the translation basically read, quote, "If you have any information about my wife, contact this number," end quote. But the thing about this post is that it appeared out of the blue. So, of course, anyone who wasn't local and didn't know that Mamta was missing, well, these people rightfully asked questions in the comment section. But Naresh never responded. But wait, this man gets even more bizarre. On August 12th, Naresh removes all of his wife's pictures from his Facebook profile page. And hold your butts, this man also changes his relationship status on Facebook from married to single. What? In the middle of the missing persons investigation. I do not think that in the 5.5 years that I have covered crime cases that I have ever wanted to slap someone so bad in my life. Oh, wait, that's a lie. I forgot about Letitia Stauch. Well, 2 days later, Naresh does an interview with WUSA. He again proclaimed that the last time he saw his wife was on July 31st. He said that they had dinner, she cooked, since she always did the, quote, kitchen stuff. But other than that, he says that they spoke and there was zero arguments. Everything was peaceful. After dinner, he took the baby and went upstairs to bed. By morning time, when he woke up, Mamta was gone. So Naresh said that he assumed that she had left to work. He said he went about his day, and it wasn't until Mamta didn't report from work that he got concerned. He said he, quote, searched around, end quote, but he kept it vague. Where exactly did you search, Naresh? Where? He then said that the following day was when the cops showed up at his doorstep. During the interview with WUSA, Naresh described Mamta as caring and loving. He then sent her a message stating, quote, "Hey, just come back. I'm myself and my baby. We are waiting like every second, every minute we are waiting. If you're listening, we are waiting here for you. We need you," end quote. Yeah, okay, buddy. You need her so bad that you actually went on Facebook and changed your status to single. But wait, Naresh wanted to clarify. He was worried, but not that worried, because she had gone missing before. And we would later learn that in February of 2024, Mamta did leave Naresh for a few days. But on that occasion, she actually took the baby, and everyone knew exactly where she was. And you might recall back in February when the police were called to the house. Yeah, that was the night she left. It wasn't like she just walked away and vanished. Sarita, one of Mamta's friends, later told the Washington Post that one day in February, Mamta showed up at her house with her daughter, and Mamta was all bruised and battered. She had no money, no car, and no phone. It turned out that Naresh had emptied all the bank accounts. She didn't have a car in her name, and her phone? Well, Naresh broke it. Sarita got Mamta a new phone, and she also urged her friend to call the police. And remember the picture that Mamta sent her brother? Yeah, that was also in February. Mamta's brother later revealed that Mamta told him that she thought things were going to get worse, but that she thought staying with her husband was best for her child. Mamta stayed with Sarita for a week. Then there was some sort of intervention of sorts between the couple. So in this intervention, it was Mamta, Naresh, Naresh's parents, and some friends. During this intervention, Mamta decided to return home and work to keep the family unit together. And while investigating this case, authorities realized that there was another incident in February where Mamta actually did call the police, but then didn't file a report. Katie Ray Jones, CEO of the National Domestic Violence Hotline, told the Washington Post that domestic violence survivors return to abusive partners an average of 7 times before leaving for good. She said that in Mamta's situation, 2 things were working against her: her baby and her immigration status. Katie Ray Jones explained that the hotline receives countless callers who report that they are reluctant to leave abusive situations because they're afraid of losing custody of their children. These fears are amplified among non-citizens who are disadvantaged by the legal system. For people like Mamta who have a green card but not full citizenship, abusers may threaten to destroy legal documents or otherwise hinder efforts to achieve full citizenship and the independence that comes with it. And you might recall a similar thing happened in that TikTok influencer case that I covered a few weeks ago with Anna and Ali. So this case does get more and more interesting as the days go by. During one of those periods in February, Mamta did actually leave Naresh, but she felt it wasn't safe for anyone to, quote, hide her, so she rented an apartment in Falls Church, which was about 20 miles east of Manassas Park. But that time when she was living in her own apartment didn't last long because within a month, she returned to Naresh. So 2 weeks after Mamta failed to report to work on August 15th, the Manassas Park PD sent out a press release. They were asking for the public's help in locating Mamta. The following day, Naresh, this lowlife, told police that he was trying to get his daughter sent to Nepal. 3 days later, Naresh sold his Tesla and was attempting to sell the marital house. And then, on August 20th, any hopes that anyone had that Mamta was still alive was crushed when she failed to show up for her daughter's first birthday. It was almost as if before August 20th, they were looking for Mamta alive, probably. But after August 20th, which was her daughter's first birthday, everyone knew Mamta must be dead. That's really sad, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
On August 24th was the first time that there was a formal search of the Bhatt home. And inside, authorities found what appeared to be blood spatter in different rooms around the house. The following day, as the house was still being searched at 11 a.m., Naresh Bhatt was finally arrested. He walked out of the house holding his daughter, and that's when he was taken in. Mia was cared for by CPS. And in the meantime, Mamta's mother and brother in Nepal were granted expedited visas to come to the U.S., and that's when they took custody of little Mia. So you're probably wondering, what in the world was Naresh charged with, right? Because they haven't found Mamta yet. Well, he was charged with concealing a body, which is a Class 6 felony. The criminal complaint read, quote, on or about July 30th, 2024, the accused, Naresh Bhatt, murdered his wife, Mamta Bhatt. The incident occurred at their residence located at Redacted in the city of Manassas Park. During the course of this investigation, a substantial amount of digital and forensic evidence consistent with her death was recovered, end quote. Due to the fact that Naresh had family outside of the country, the judge did find he was a flight risk, so his bond was denied. Manassas Park Police Chief Mario Lugo announced publicly that investigators did not believe Mamta was still alive. He stated, quote, I don't believe Mamta is still alive. There's no evidence that proves that yet, but obviously we're still searching, end quote. So of course we know that they must have found something inside that house that led to this arrest, and subsequently led the police chief to no kidding say during a press conference, basically, we believe Mamta is dead. But it wasn't until the arraignment that the public learned snippets of what was found during the execution of that warrant. Investigators discovered what appeared to be blood pooling and blood spatter in the home's main bedroom. The bed appeared to be moved, blocking a closet, and light pink stains were found on bedroom carpeting after the bed was removed. Pools of blood were found in the bathroom, quote, as if something was dragged across the floor, end quote. And there was also blood pooling on the shower floor. When investigators removed the bathtub, they saw what they believed to be blood in the caulking of the bathtub. A number of the cleaning supplies that Naresh had purchased, which we'll talk about in a minute, were also found in the home, which the home, by the way, appeared to be in complete disarray. Naresh was again held without bond. Oh, but wait, this was just the physical evidence. But what about the digital evidence? This guy, well, he really loved Google. Same. In March, Naresh Googled, what happens if spouse disappears in divorce in Virginia? Come on now. Are you serious? Why would you Google that unless you had some ill intent, you know? In April, Naresh used his government laptop to Google, quote, what happens if spouse dies? What happens debt of died spouse? And, quote, how long does it take to get married after a spouse dies, end quote. Now, let me find out that Naresh has a side chick, which he might, because remember he went on Facebook and changed his status from married to single. And now he's trying to figure out like how long after your spouse dies can you remarry? So what exactly did detectives learn about Mamta's last living moments? She was last seen alive at work on July 27th. This is confirmed through surveillance video at work. It shows her outside the hospital with a friend before she enters a black four-door sedan, and that's at approximately 8:17 p.m. Presumably, this is an Uber, but a court order showed that although there was an Uber transaction around that time, it showed up as, quote, canceled by rider, end quote. Which that part right there of this story seems really strange to me. I mean, if I were Naresh's defense attorney, I would hang my hat on that weirdness right there and just say, like, the Uber driver kidnapped her. Anyway, continuing. Mamta's phone records place her at her house on July 28th. That same day, Naresh was in Baltimore most of the day. That day, at around 6 p.m., Mamta sent a Facebook message thanking someone for some jewelry that she purchased on Marketplace. She also spoke to a friend, and then she posted her final TikTok video of her and her daughter. Between 8:30 and 9 p.m., Mamta attempted to contact her husband twice, but apparently couldn't make contact. Naresh was shown to have returned home later that evening. For July 29th, both phone records, those belonging to Mamta and Naresh, showed them at the house most of the day. At 8:30 p.m., Mamta video chatted with her mom, who was in Nepal, and they used Facebook video chat. Mamta and her mom were close, and they spoke twice almost on a daily basis. But this was the last known call with her mom, and the video lasted about 14 minutes. Then, on July 30th, Naresh's weird Google searches continued. He Googled diagram of a brain, and he also Googled chicken farm near me. Now, sometimes I wonder, I'm just like never going to eat chicken again because that sounds horrific if he did or what he was Googling to do, I guess. At around 5:40 a.m., Naresh texted their babysitter asking if he could drop the baby off at around 8 a.m. Around 6:30 a.m., he dropped her off at the babysitter's apartment, which is a little bit weird, right? Because he said 8 a.m. But anyway, at 6:44 a.m., surveillance footage captured Naresh discarding plastic bags into a dumpster at the apartment complex. At around 6:53 a.m., he returned home. At 8:12 a.m., Naresh was captured on surveillance footage at none other than Home Depot. At Home Depot, he purchased 2 pairs of rubber gloves. At 8:41 a.m., he was at Walmart purchasing a set of 3 knives. During a later search warrant at his home, law enforcement recovered the smaller of the 3 knives, but they couldn't locate the 2 bigger knives. Mamta's first missed call from her mother was at 11:09 a.m. At 4:53 p.m., Naresh picked up his daughter from the babysitters, but before walking into her apartment, he parked his Tesla by the same dumpster that he had discarded bags earlier that morning. At 5:22 p.m., Naresh went to Lidl and purchased a 40-pack of 30-pound extra strong black trash bags. Now, if you think about it, this guy is a little bit smart in that he's not buying all of these suspicious items all at once, but it's possible that the Tesla was tracked as well. Because remember, the Tesla is like a mini computer. It knows exactly where you are all the time. And all of our cars really do. On July 31st, at approximately 1:30 a.m., Naresh was captured again on surveillance footage in Falls Church. which is about 30 to 40 minutes from Manassas Park. Wearing white gloves, he retrieved several trash bags from the trunk of his Tesla. He then discarded those bags into a trash compactor. He didn't have his phone with him. However, his Tesla tracked him to that location. I love this. I love technology for criminals because you're gonna get busted. At around 8 a.m., Naresh dropped off his daughter at the babysitter's house again. He is captured on surveillance as he slowly drives by the same dumpster he had disposed of the items the day before. He looked back at the dumpster before driving away. So clearly, he's suspicious, trying to figure out if the trash came and collected the trash bags. Later, when the babysitter was interviewed by law enforcement, she said that Naresh, quote, seemed to be nervous and kept looking around when he was dropping and picking up the baby, end quote. Investigators later discovered that on July 31st, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Bhatt residents used more than 150 gallons of water, which was a stark contrast to the 3 to 4 gallons per hour that was used for the remainder of that day. Around 2 p.m., Naresh is captured on surveillance footage again. This time, he is at a Fairfax County Walmart buying cleaning supplies, air fresheners, and soap bars. Around 5:30 p.m., Naresh is again seen on surveillance footage disposing of 2 bags from his truck into the dumpster at his babysitter's apartment complex. He left, then returned at around 7 p.m. to pick up his daughter, which he went all the way to the babysitter's apartment complex to throw some trash out and didn't pick up the baby. That doesn't make sense. On August 1st, Naresh's phone appeared to be off, but Mamta's phone, her phone pinged in Loudoun County, which is 30 to 40 minutes from Manassas. After this, there was no more contact on Mamta's phone. But wait, when authorities searched the area where Mamta's phone last pinged, guess what they found? They found video surveillance footage of Naresh parked near a gas station. That's right. The video captured Naresh getting out of a car with a noticeable limp. He ate lunch at the gas station cafe, then returned to his car, then retrieved more bags from his Tesla, but he didn't touch the bags with his bare hands. He actually carefully used what appeared to be a napkin or some sort of piece of paper. Then he disposed of said bags into a nearby clothing donation bin. Then he discarded the napkin in a separate trash bin. Police would later track down that donation bag, and inside they found a stained bath mat that appeared to have been washed. Gross. 2 days after Naresh's arrest, on August 24th, hundreds of friends, fellow nurses, and community members gathered at Signal Hill Park to honor Mamta Bhatt. Virginia State Senator Danica Rome joined the community to show support and acknowledge the women who, quote, knew something was wrong immediately and really raised their voices consistently and persistently, end quote. On August 27th, Mamta's mother, Geeta, and her brother, Mahesh, arrived in the United States. Upon arrival, they were reunited with Mia. Geeta told the Kathmandu Post that, quote, if we can bring our granddaughter back, we will. If it's not possible to bring her to Nepal, we will stay there to look after her. Mamta's daughter is all we have left of her now, end quote. On December 2nd, 2024, Naresh was finally indicted by a grand jury for murder and physically defiling a dead body. His trial for the charge of prohibition against concealment of a dead body had been set to begin the following week, but it was canceled after the judge approved the defense's request to have both cases combined into one trial. Naresh waived his right to a speedy trial, and the judge scheduled a start date for September 8th, 2025. On December 13th, news outlets reported on newly released DNA evidence. According to Newsweek, blood found on parts of a reciprocating saw was matched to a DNA profile created from Mamta's hairbrush. Police and prosecutors suggest that Mamta was killed and dismembered in the Bhatt home sometime between the night of July 29th and the morning of July 30th. Investigators believe that Mamta was killed in the main bedroom of the Bhatt home and then dragged into the bathroom. Naresh Bhatt's trial for murder, physically defiling a dead body, and concealing a dead body is scheduled to begin in September of 2025. And for those of you wondering the status of Mamta Bhatt's body, I did read an article in ABC 7 News that was just published at the end of February, where it said that the police chief has indicated that they have exhausted all leads in searching for the missing Manassas Park mom, Mamta Bhatt. But Chief Lugo did want everyone to know that they will continue to look through the evidence collected for potential areas to search and for other leads. Since her disappearance, according to ABC 7, authorities have conducted approximately 50 physical searches. In addition to the physical searches for Mamta's body, Chief Lugo indicated that 44 search warrants, court orders, and subpoenas have all been obtained and executed. And the thing is that authorities are still obtaining and executing additional search warrants, court orders, and subpoenas as of this recording. A status hearing is scheduled for March 20th, and the trial is set to begin in September. All right, True Crime Army, thank you so much for joining me this week. This case is still 6 months from going to court, unless, of course, it gets delayed, at which point we will have to wait longer. The question remains, where is Mamta Bhatt? I wonder, as many others do, if they will actually ever find her remains. By the way, no body trial cases, meaning a trial where there is a murder charge, but the body of the victim has never been found. These types of cases, they're called no body trial cases. They're difficult to prosecute, but I feel like they can still be successful in this case, considering all of the DNA evidence that they have found at the Bhatt house. I am hopeful that there will be sufficient evidence for a conviction, but remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Shout out to my girl Elizabeth for researching this case for me. My sources for this episode include articles found on ABC 7, People, Newsweek, WTOP News, New York Daily, the Kamatsu Post, Hindustan Times, Fox 5, CNN, Potomac Local News, Prince William Times, and NBC4. Military Murder is a Mama Margot production. The music was created by Tyops. Until next time, remember, you never really know what someone is capable of, so remain vigilant always. You have a fabulous week, and I'll keep digging to bring you another military murder case next week.
Mama's working on her podcast.